My God, I hate drugs.
The Philippines is the least peaceful country in Southeast Asia. That's according to the latest Global Peace Index, which studies peace and order in 163 countries. The study by Australia-based think tank Institute for Economics and Peace shows that the Philippines is ranked 137th in the world, the lowest in the region. It's also the second least peaceful in the Asia-Pacific region. The study posted three main factors for the ranking. These include the Marawi siege, the ongoing dispute in the South China Sea, and the Duterte administration's anti-drug campaign. The study did say calming tensions in the South China Sea from President Duterte's talks with China is having a positive effect when it comes to peace in the Asia-Pacific region. President Rodrigo Duterte warned of radical changes in the country in the coming days. The president also hinted about using his powers under a state of national emergency that he declared to fight crime. Our senior correspondent Ina Andolong talked to his chief legal counsel to find out what the president meant.
Radical changes soon. That's the president's latest warning to criminals, both working in and outside government.
Well, somehow, even with this meager emergency power, I will use it to the hilt at put things in order. Nawarning ko lang kayong mga kriminal, lahat na. Nasa gobyerno, sa labas, I will make radical changes in the days to come.
The president was likely referring to the declaration of a state of national emergency, which is in effect in the entire country. He issued Proclamation 55 in September 2016 in response to the Davao City night market bombing. It's not been lifted since. Now it seems the president wants to invoke the declaration in his campaign against criminals.
Remember that there is no difference actually between martial law and a declaration of national emergency. So I'm warning all, lahat. I'm warning all, including the human rights. It's either we behave or we will have a serious problem again. Mahirap yan.
No difference between martial law and a state of national emergency declaration? His chief legal counsel explains what the president meant. He says it was just a warning.
In the sense that they're both emergency powers granted to the president, there's no difference. Well, I think what he means is that he will be very strict in the enforcement of the laws. So he's warning the criminals.
But strict law enforcement does not require either a martial law or state of national emergency declaration. For now, it's still unclear why the president sees both declarations as virtually the same, how he intends to use his national emergency declaration to fight criminals, and if he still believes that there is lawless violence throughout the country now. The president's state of national emergency declaration was on account of lawless violence. Lawless violence is a ground for martial law declaration. But though Proclamation 55 orders soldiers and policemen to undertake measures to prevent the spread of lawless violence, it does not mention of a possible suspension of the writ of habeas corpus, which is allowed in martial rule. This means that unlike martial law, law enforcers cannot carry out warrantless arrests in a state of national emergency. Another difference, martial law needs congressional concurrence. A proclamation declaring a state of national emergency does not.
Yeah, well, what he's saying is, if you people are doing your worst and there's no stopping you, then you will be forced to use emergency powers. Warning lang naman sa kanya, depending on the situation.
It's still unclear what radical changes are underway. It appears only the president knows what he's going to do next. Ina Andolong, CNN Philippines.
In other news, the back and forth continues between former TV host Chris Aquino and Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson. And that word war is gaining a lot of attention online. The spat began when Uson dragged Aquino's late father to defend the kissing controversy of President Duterte with a Filipina in South Korea. Uson reposted an old video of former Senator Ninoy Aquino kissed by two female supporters inside an airplane moments before he was assassinated in 1983. Special Assistant to the President, Bongo, says President Duterte has apologized to Chris Aquino and that Uson herself will apologize. But shortly after Go spoke, Uson posted a Facebook status on her page, Mocha Uson Blog, and she said, quote, "With all due respect to everyone involved, I decline to apologize for the truth." Aquino went live on her Instagram and Facebook accounts last night and reiterated she was hurt by Uson's move. She points out the issue is about her as it is about her parents. Aquino also added, quote, "Mocha, you win."
When it is about my mother and when it is about my father, it will always be about me. Kahit sinong anak, kahit sinong nanonood sa akin ngayon, pag magulang na, hate man nila ako, sabihin man nila na there she goes again. But I think lahat mag-a-agree sa akin. Dahil tayo, kahit anuman ang kulay natin, mahal natin ang mga magulang natin. Mocha, you win. You win because you hurt me. And I think that's what you wanted to do. Nanalo ka dahil patuloy mong inapak-apakan ang pagkatao, ang alaala ng dalawang tao na pinakamamahal ko.
Still very intense, Aquino later posted on her social media accounts that she recognizes President Duterte's sincere apology. Both Go and Uson refused to give further comments on the issue.
A check on our global headlines. A huge blaze tore across the roof of one of London's top hotels Wednesday, just days after the completion of a multi-million-dollar renovation project. More than 100 firefighters were sent to put out the fire at the five-star Mandarin Oriental Hotel in the exclusive Knightsbridge district of the UK capital. There were no immediate reports of any casualties. U.S. President Donald Trump has commuted the sentence of Alice Marie Johnson, a first-time nonviolent drug offender. Johnson has already served 21 years of a life sentence after she was convicted on charges of attempted possession of cocaine. She is expected to be released from prison soon. Trump's decision comes a week after reality star Kim Kardashian West pleaded her case during an Oval Office meeting with Trump. Some new crew members are headed to NASA's International Space Station. They are American doctor Serena Aunion Chancellor, Russian cosmonaut Sergei Prokopyev, and German astronaut Alexander Gerst. The trio launched from Kazakhstan in a Russian Soyuz spacecraft Wednesday morning. They are scheduled to arrive at the ISS Friday morning. The ISS has been continuously occupied by rotating astronaut crews since November 2000.
Lots of things to talk about still. The Chris Aquino versus Mocha Uson saga.
Ooh.
I guess we can call it a saga now.
Well, yeah, what's happening
all long involved story.
All day yesterday.
Yeah.
That was pretty much what was in the news.
More on that in a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like a Star Wars series, a trilogy.
Well, I do hope they end it soon.
Yeah, and they
because
settle it
it's
well. Yeah.
Yeah, they do settle it well. But speaking of settling, As you mentioned, it was raining as you woke up this morning, and some areas have suspended the classes today in Quezon City, particularly Cainta Rizal. We have Naval, Biliran, and of course some towns in Misamis. And look at the flood that is affecting a lot of cities
That is in
everywhere.
Araneta Avenue.
Yeah, these are live pictures right now.
Can you believe that? I mean, wasn't it just yesterday the sun was out or the other day, and now we are dealing with floods.
So be careful if you're.
Take care.
That's right. If you're leaving for work, for school, as you can see, live pictures again of Araneta Avenue. This is in Quezon City. There's no rain stopping the NBA Finals, though. It is Game 3. Cavs fans, Warriors fans, get hyped. Game 3 will be at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio today.
So Cleveland Cavs have a good chance, hopefully, of winning at least one.
Because if the Warriors win today,
that'll be tough.
Yeah, just call it
Nobody
over.
has ever come from
It's so hard.
3-0.
Somebody has, like a team has in history, but so hard. So odds are not in their favor.
That's right.
Again, stick around until 7:30 for these stories and more. Meantime, here are the morning's headlines.
The latest Global Peace Index reports the Philippines is the least peaceful country in Southeast Asia. The word war between Chris Aquino and Communications Assistant Secretary Mocha Uson heats up as Special Assistant to the President, Bongo, relays the President's apology to Aquino. And Tropical Depression Domeng continues to bring rains over most parts of the country.